Thank you, Kelly. All right, you guys. So I would like to introduce you to Bear the Healer, or Gentle Bear. Thank you. He is from, I'm going to say a lot of these words wrong. I'm just letting you know, Bear. From Imlay City, Michigan, and has been respecting his abilities for over 20 years. First of all, I just want to say that one sentence right there is pretty freaking powerful. Normally people send me their bio and I kind of retool it and do things to it. I didn't change a word in this bio because that is a fantastic biography. Hey, B. Hey. Inspiring variety on the main stage, Bear is definitely one of a kind. Not only does he create powerful music that is full of wisdom and inspiration, but he is also a world-renowned psychic medium and ancestral healer with a mission of raising the vibration of the entire world so that we can all heal the traumas that bind us. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Bear has performed on stage alongside industry legends such as Scarface, Bone Thugs-n-Harmony, and Rick Ross, among others, and has collaborated on songs with country rap pioneer, I think it's Big Smo, I don't know if it's Big Smo or Big SMO, and legend Bubba Sparks, right? With hard-hitting melodic production created by friend and mentor Ralph Mr. Sneed Hollinsworth, Bear presents a diverse variety of hip-hop lyricism that combines spirituality, rap, hip-hop, and country rap. And if you happen to cross paths with Bear, it's for the greater good of all parties and a predestined meeting. Ayo! So I'm going to bring Bear on now. Hey, Bear!
Hello.
Your camera's not on.
There we go. Is it working now?
Not yet.
All right, give me 1 second here. I'm a dinosaur to technology.
It's okay. I couldn't even tell you how to turn it on, quite frankly. There it is. Hey, there's my friend. Welcome in. First of all, I just want to say thank you very much for taking time out of your schedule to be here. It means a lot to me, and I've been talking about it for a while. Everybody's very excited to meet you.
So thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be here.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited. Okay, so I wrote a couple questions. I figured I'll just ask you a couple questions and we'll just see where they lead. If anyone has questions for him, please hold them until the end so that if we start going on something, we don't get interrupted. I do have a moderator in the room. Be Mine Melton Moore is my moderator. She'll keep track of things for me. She does an excellent job. So, okay, so my first question was, can you tell us about your journey as a psychic medium and ancestral healer over the past 20 years and how it has influenced your music and mission to raise the world's vibration?
Ooh, that is the greatest questions anybody's ever asked me. It just goes back so deep. So let's start with the root of it here. When I was 19, well, first off, I grew up Native American. I'm Anishinaabe, so I come from a very spiritual background. And I have it in my blood to become what I am today. I didn't always accept these things. As a youngster, we tend to shy away from spirituality and embrace toxic things in our life. Life lessons.
Right.
But when I was 19, I had lost my sister. She had passed away in a car accident. So to me, that was like the beginning of a great journey that would turn, ultimately who I am today. On quite the journey, let me tell you. Addiction, even trouble, just overall toxic life. I got up to 435 pounds at one point. So my whole life was just super bad. And then, fast forward a few years, I had a baby and I had that, had to make this decision. The doctor told me, this is the exact words. He goes, Bear, he goes, you got a decision to make here. He goes, I can put you on medication and, try to, make things better this way. because I was depressed. I was anxiety. I was, 435 pounds. I wanted to, unalive myself. And I had diabetes, had all of things. Um, when he gave me that ultimatum, I looked at him, and then I thought of my daughter. I was like, I got to turn. I did. That was getting that journey, and it started I'd say 8 or 9 years ago. So I turned my big back around and started to talk through the dark what myself into, and started to peel away that onion, and it started as I started embracing, peeling away some of the onions. Then some of the gifts started coming to the forefront. I thought I was crazy for most of my life. I tried every medication on the planet. Nothing ever worked, so it wasn't that. Then we just kept going, kept going. I started losing weight, and then I started transforming, and just life started to change. The biggest thing too is I knew I had come from that bloodline. I have shaman roots. And I've always been very in tune that way. I just always denied it. So when I started the journey and going through it, then I started to embrace it. And ultimately that's what, helped me to transform. So I became a Reiki master. That I started there. I always knew I was a medium my whole life. I just thought I had mental health issues. I was like, oh, this ain't real. This, I'm nuts. There's no way around it.
Right.
So I started with yeah. It was pretty well, my mom's 100% Native American. My dad was Catholic. So there's a little conflict there in that upbringing. Um, so like I said, I started with the Reiki, started going, became the Reiki master, started to transform, losing the weight. I started being able to tap in, started having those experiences happen with the mediumship. That was pretty wild, because I would hear the type of medium that I am is actually called a physical trance medium. There's not a lot of us out here, and comes from a shaman background. We're able to hear, see, feel, and take on spirits. Almost like, I don't want to use the word possession because it's not possession, but we allow the spirit to come into our body and give the messages that need to come out.
Yeah, someone once
Uh,
explained it to me as like a superimposition, like putting their outline over you so they have the tool to speak or say whatever they need to say.
my voice will actually change. Like, if people pay attention to me when I read or channel, you'll notice that I'll I always clear my throat. That's because that's how the spirit comes up through me. They use me as a vocal box. And then my voice will get calm. Sometimes I get energetic. It always changes. Um, and then the music had started when my sister had passed away. It was a coping mechanism. I didn't know what to do. I turned to, bad choices and, a lifestyle that was very toxic. And I needed some sort of outlet, because everything else wasn't working. So I picked up the pen and started writing. I come from a family of rockers. Everybody plays guitar, drums, rock music. And here I am, the black sheep of the family. And I just happen to be able to be, a lyricist and be able to rap. They still give me crap to this day, but I laugh at them. I was like, look, I was like, what? Are you kidding me? I've worked with some of the coolest people on the planet when it comes to respecting what, where they come from and the artists that they are today. So to me, I was like, you can laugh at me all you want, but I've done some cool things. You know what I mean?
Right?
And I really truly love it. Music has been such a crazy part of my life, and now that I'm here, now I'm happy, I'm healthy. I weigh 235 pounds today, which is over 200 pounds lost. And I'm still making music, and I took the leap of faith into my business and what I do. And let me tell you, when I talk about life change, this is what we do. And I have a PhD in life. So when people ask me, like, what makes you qualified to be a life changer? Because I changed my life, like, in every
Yes.
aspect. I mean, if you look at before and after pictures, and so that's what makes me qualified as a life changer. And I come from a spot within inside me that is, it's all love, and I want to make this clear too. As creator, God is number one for me. like the Most High. Everybody has their certain beliefs, and I respect everybody has that certain belief. But for me, God is number one for me. And then, of course, the angels, and I'm very conscious of who I let around me in my space on the other side, because there are energies that want to not let you shine bright.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, that is fantastic. You have such a great story. Such a great story. It's very inspiring um, to hear that. I mean, not that I'm trying to think of how to put my words together. It's very inspiring to me what you did after you lost your sister, right? Where you turned this into making music, and although that your path kind of went a little crooked there for a hot minute, you did eventually figure it out and come back. I have a quick question about the weight, because I have found this with several clients, and I'm curious, and myself as well. And I'm very curious how you feel about this. Do you feel like the weight partially had something to do with holding on to old beliefs, old things, and then as you started to work on yourself, made it easier to release this?
Yeah. You ever seen that look like a crater of the bottom half of it's super big, and then the person that's skinning on top like chiseling away? My authentic self was hidden inside, all that weight. And if you look at the before and after picture, I don't look like the same person. And some people don't even believe it. They're like, there's no way. And I'm like, well, I mean, I wouldn't make this up, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
but yeah, I definitely believe that that the weight really, as it came off, it was like an onion, onion peels. Every layer
Yeah.
had a new journey to. Yeah.
Yeah, I know there's a couple people in the room
It's
right
been, it's
now who
been
are going through weight journeys themselves or have also had weight issues. And I have found with several clients that once they start working on themselves, this weight that they can't lose, right? They've been fighting it, fighting it, fighting it forever. They start working on themselves and taking responsibility for their own crap and actually bringing it to the surface so it can get some light and air. They actually start to be able to lose some of the weight a little more easily than before. And I think it has a lot to do with finally letting go of stuff you're holding around you because you think it protects you, but it doesn't. All these beliefs and all these things that you're holding here, it's just keeping you uncomfortable. Yeah, like Heather
yeah.
said,
So
it
I'm
melts off.
yeah.
Hmm.
My drug of choice was food.
Yep.
That's how I numb my emotion, and I would lay in bed and eat packs of Oreos and cheeseburgers. Like it was bad. I look back and I can laugh now. I'm just like, man, like how did I get there? But then I look back and I'm like, wow, thank God that I was able to come back from that, because there's not a lot of people that are able to come back from the mental state that I had created for myself.
Yeah, it's definitely an uphill battle. And I absolutely love that you said you have a PhD in life. I know how to change lives because I changed my life. That's the best credentials you could have. I mean, quite frankly, I in my big girl job, I work at a university. I teach at a university. I have a lot of letters after my name, and in that world, it's so important the letters you have after your name. But in this world, I'd so much rather work with someone like you or like Heather, who have had their own experience that has shaped them and taught them and given them wisdom that they can then give to someone else. I find so much value in something like that, especially the feeling of I'm not alone in my feelings, right? Like we have this commonality, so it gives a connection. All right.
Absolutely.
So
I actually
let's see.
had somebody.
No, go
I was
ahead.
saying somebody said to me once. They were talking about they wanted to see my credentials, and I actually wrote it on a piece of paper, and I said PhD life and signed my name. And they're like, really? I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I don't need the paper to tell me that I got a PhD in life, but it made me laugh.
Right, yeah. And we do, even at the Wellness Center, Heather and I will run into every once in a while someone who wants to know, well, how do you know this? Or why are you qualified to know this? Typically I start talking about my training and they stop and they leave me alone. But the training I have, like my professional education has very little to do with what I do in this world. I was trained in Western medicine. I don't use Western medicine very often or at all in this world because I just feel like it's so limited. Like I want you to heal yourself. I don't want you to come to me and expect me to do it for you. Wonderful. All right. So, my second question for you. You've had the opportunity to perform alongside industry legends like Scarface, Bone Thugs and Harmony, and Rick Ross. How has these experiences shaped your approach to creating powerful and inspiring music? Like, what did you take from working with such wonderful people?
I mean, well, let's talk about the experience here. There is no greater feeling than being on a stage with 10,000 people in front of you and hearing the music around you just roaring. You know, like that's something that I've been chasing my whole life. That I got chills in my body right now. The feeling that I felt when I was doing that, that's when I knew I was home, you know. But then there's like with great power comes great responsibility. You know, so you got a voice, you got a powerful voice, you can influence millions of people. And that's where, you know, I have to be conscious of the type of music that I make. And then being a healer and this, you know, and what I do, I was like, man, this is perfect. I'm getting chills right now through my whole body because they're confirming right now, like, you know, Bear, you finally stepped into this. You get it, like the light bulb turned on. So using my voice and then creating to be able to reach these masses, I mean, it's so beautiful. And of course, it was cool to meet the people. You know, the ego side of me was like, yeah, I'm kicking it with these cool people. You know, but the divine side of me is like, yo, you got great responsibility here. You know what I'm saying? So use it wisely. And my content, the music that I used to make back then, way different than it is now. You know what I mean? So, you know, I accept the responsibility and I'm standing up to the plate and, you know, let's do this. And it feels good. And I look forward to getting on stage again. It's been 7 years since I've touched a microphone. And I'm actually preparing into this next year to hit the stage again. So.
That's very exciting. Very exciting. Wow, congratulations. I love it. I love it. Okay, so your music blends elements of spirituality, rap, hip hop, and country rap. Can you elaborate on how you bring these diverse influences together to create a unique musical style? Like, do you find a way to combine all this stuff? Because to me, it just looks like puzzle pieces that don't fit.
Yeah, you know the thing is too is every artist it creates differently. So for me, when I hear an instrumental, like I hear it in my head, something that I want, and then I make sure I have my buddy Sneed, Mr. Sneed. He makes the beats for me. I tell him what it is I want. He sends it to me. I make sure that's good and what I'm looking for in all levels, and make sure the frequencies are where they need to be. And then and then I write the song based how the instrumental makes me feel. You get what I'm saying? So it's like being a baker and having the right ingredients, and then hitting that a little razzle dazzle over here, and then a little bit over here. So it's kind of a process. But I have noticed that the most powerful music that I make comes to me when I sit down and I ask Creator, yo, God, surround me in your light right now, and these angels to step forward and let's write this powerful song. Like I've written a song that took me 15 minutes that skyrocketed, and then one that took me a month to do, nobody likes it.
Right? Is that alignment, right? I've always said,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I've always tells people, alignment is easy. When it's easy, it's aligned, man. Like it's hard for me to explain to people sometimes how easy things can be if you are just standing right in that stream of alignment with your creator and inspiration. Heather and I met in August, and by December 1st, we were opening a business together. And a whole month in between there, I was gone. So, I mean, I'm still working full-time job aside from that. So, and it wasn't hard. It was easy. That's the thing I keep telling people. It's just easy. When you open up and listen to that inspiration that's coming to you, instead of trying to fight your way there and force something to happen, a lot of times that flow just comes through.
Absolutely. That's what it is too, get out of your own way. It's kind of like the lesson from this.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
do
I
we do
think
it often. We get in our own way.
Yeah, well, I think that's the thing most people, myself included, do all the time. I'm always in my own way, and I'll catch myself and I'll be able to realize it. And I'm like, dang it, I thought I was past this, like I'm always in my own way.
I do it all the time, and I think that's the greatest part about being a teacher is being a great student as well. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And you're always being open to learning and having to check yourself. Like, all right, you got me, you got me. Let's reroute a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so collaboration has played a significant role in your career. So working with artists like, is it Big Smo or is it Big SMO?
Big Smo, yep.
Big Smo. Working with artists like Big Smo and Bubba Sparks, how do these collaborations contribute to your creative process? And what do you hope to achieve through these partnerships? Like, do you hope to have more partnerships and more collaborations, or are you moving more towards doing it on your own?
Both. I think with like Big Smo and Bubba Sparks, I don't know if you know who they are, but there were people that I grew up listening to. So for me to be in alignment with being able to work with them and become friends with them and create music, to me, it was like, how cool is that? You're making music with people that you listen to, like, wow. But then the other side of me is like, yo, I love working with other artists and I would love to work with many more. But I also know that I have some solo music to do too. So I'm kind of just embracing all of it and getting out of my own way, and whatever comes first comes first.
Is there anyone that you
Yeah, I'm
listen?
excited though.
Oops, sorry. Is there anyone that you listen to a lot right now that like if you could have anyone you wanted to collaborate with just walk up to you, who would it be at this moment?
Well, one not here. Tupac. I listen to Tupac. Makes me laugh. Just because and he was a little wild, and kind of let me hold on to that past side of myself that was wild. But in the living, definitely Eminem, same state, and to me, he's the greatest lyricist of all time. But there's different genres of music. I mean, that's a wormhole of a question right there. So it could take you anywhere. But if I had to choose, it'd be Tupac. Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely. I would go to that show. I would go to that show. Okay, so the
Yeah,
last
yeah.
prepared question I have for you is your mission involves. Wow, good music. Your mission involves healing the traumas that bind us and raising the world's vibration. Could you share some specific ways you believe your music and abilities as a healer are making a positive impact on individuals in the global community?
Well, first off, is anytime I'm a living, walking prayer. So when I'm walking, whenever I come across somebody, whether they realize it or not, I'm always praying for that person. It's just something I constantly do. It's like, for me, it's like putting your underwear on every morning. I get up, I get prayed up, and I go out and I just pray all the time. But especially when it comes to music or even healing sessions, it's constant prayer, always bringing in, Creator and my angels, and really everything's all about intention, for me. And I believe that walking in that truth, walking in that light, allows me to have the reach that I do. And it gets interesting sometimes. I face a lot of situations where things want to go against me, but I kind of feel like that happened because my commitment to this love is tested. You know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah,
up for the challenge every day, every day.
I love that. So, what is a typical session with you like? If you were going to explain it to someone who might want to book with you, what is a typical session like and what could they expect?
Well, if they book a meetup or meetings, we conversate like we are. And you see me in my life. I'm kind of a ball. I say a lot of wild stuff, and so it's all very energy. You know what I'm saying? I want you to leave that experience like, damn, that was cool. I had fun, and you got some guidance and information. So I kind of just let it flow. Now, if we're talking about ancestral healing, long distance, I'm kind of in my own little world here, almost like a little wizard. You know what I'm saying? But if we're gonna do it in person, as always, we have the conversation. We speak. I let you know what's gonna happen, what you might feel, what to expect, what it is that I do, and who I work with, and kind of just let you know that it isn't me. I'm just a middle person. I just have the ability to be a conductor of, amazing energy that is not limited to this life, past life, all different, all different timelines, like, in which sometimes that gets pretty wild in itself, because the healing process goes way deeper than people realize. And then, I start the session, and it's very, I want to say the word intimate, but not intimate on the intimate, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's very specific towards because it's all love and it's all very focused on, bringing the trauma to the surface and releasing it from you, or, clearing your aura up, or removing cords, or, just sometimes I simply shield people. What it is that I'm doing, they just know how to heal themselves. And it was, my spirit that angel play. And so if I bring them towards you, like they got you. It's saying like it's like the dream scene, like Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen back in the '90s. You know what I mean? Like all feel the angels. So when I'm working on you, we're really doing this. We're going for the championship. We want to bring healing to your life, and ultimately, on this path to activate and trigger the life change, so you can step into that power.
Hmm. That's awesome. Um, what is, if you could tell everybody one thing that they could do for themselves, just whenever, to kind of help themselves? There's a lot of people awakening right now, and they always ask me, what can I do? What can I do? And I try to explain meditation, but that's not always something everyone can do. So aside from meditation, is there anything that you would suggest to people and say, hey, this is a great thing to do for yourself?
Yes. Well, for two things. First thing is forgive yourself for staying in that vibration long enough to have to go through that emotion again. Second of all, because I'm a goofball, I do this often. I really do that. I practice what I preach. I go in the mirror and I have conversations with myself. I was like, look, you big, beautiful person. You know what I'm saying? I use different words. I was like, I'm proud of you. Forgive yourself. Like, fix your crown king, fix your crown, crown queen, really talk yourself up. And in those moments, you're going to make yourself laugh. You're gonna laugh like, damn, am I really just talking to myself in the mirror? And instantly the energy is going to change, and you're gonna be like, all right, let's do this. Let's have a good day, and do it often. Bring joy back into your life. The journey does not have to be hard. It really doesn't. It feels hard because we don't let go of the emotion, but we can change up at any moment what direction we go, any moment, by just doing one thing.
Yeah. Wow, I really love that. I really love that. Thank you. Um, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask, does anyone in here have any questions for Bear before we let him go? Because I saw a couple questions go by and then I didn't look at them. So if you have a question, drop it in the chat. Let's answer these questions for you guys and see what kind of clarity we can bring. My daughter goes to school. Penguin wants to know, where can we find your music? You're on Spotify, right?
No, I'm on every streaming platform. You can use I am Bear 810, or they can go to my website and I have it right on the main page too.
Okay. And then Chrissy is asking, how has the rap community embraced your spirituality?
Um, it's been interesting. People look at me funny because I'm kind of the first of my kind, and then that kind of blew my mind. Thank you for that question. I was just having this conversation yesterday with somebody, my producer. In all the world, the whole world, out of billions of people, I'm the only person on this planet that is a medium, a healer, and a rapper. And to me, I was like, or maybe I'm the only one that stepped forward, I guess. Let's put it like that. Maybe there are more of us out there like that, but I'm the only one that stepped forward. And I was like, man, that's so crazy, but wow, it's powerful. So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited.
That's good. And then Ashley. So Ashley, you've been awake, you'd say about 20 years. That's what it says in your bio, right?
Yeah, yep. Well, see, here's the thing with being awake. It's a constant, I'm always awakening. I'm never, what I'm saying? Like, there's so many different, and once you feel like you've woke up, here's another journey, ding, so it's been an evolution of constantly waking up.
Absolutely. I tell people that all the time. Every time I kind of make a joke out of it. Every time I think I got a handle on this, something else comes along and I'm like, what? And I feel like I have to go back around to the same teachers again and relearn stuff again. And I also find that I'll read something like I'll read a book, let's just say Ram Dass, because that's what's in here. I'll read a Ram Dass book 2 years ago. And if I pick it up now and read it again, I get a completely different lesson out of the exact same book that I read 2 years ago, based on where I am and what I'm actually able to perceive with my resonance. Just it blows my mind constantly how that stuff happens.
Speaking of book, I actually wrote a book and I'm going to release it in 2024. It's called Skeleton Key, and it kind of speaks on the good, the bad, the ugly, the great, the whole journey, the pretty much all, even the shadow parts of it, of how I got to where I am at now. And the process of the book was kind of funny. I knew I needed to write the book. I didn't know what the book was going to be about, but I actually have it with me right now, the skeleton key that I found. It came into my life. I don't know where it came from. It showed up in my life one day, and I started carrying it with me. And then one day I started writing, and then I had the key in my hand, and it hit me. I was like, skeleton key. I was like, you got all this knowledge on how to change your life, all this wisdom, and this skeleton key opens up any door. And I was like, you got to share these keys with people. And it started to, unfold. And I was like, wow. So the book was already written. I just had to write it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. That's fantastic.
So
Congratulations.
thank you, thank you. And even looking back, I was like, I never thought in a million years I'd write a book. That blows my mind a little bit. But with my kids and them watching me do what I do, it's like, I'm inspiring my babies now. Like, look, their dad's doing this. I want to do this too. So to me, it's all about the younger generation.
Yeah, I agree 100%. 100%. Dang Penguins asks, how do you view Jesus and his connection to all of this?
Oh, man, I love Jesus. That's one thing with spirituality. I get faced with or judged with. I want to say that I need Jesus, and Jesus. I love Jesus. Like the Bible has spoke a lot of words to me that got me through some of the darkest times in my life. So I just embrace all of it. I don't limit myself, but when it comes to actual Jesus, I mean, I got his picture on my wall upstairs, like in every morning I say my prayers, I give thanks. So, Jesus is very a part of my life, in everything that I do.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, I'll speak for myself. For me, it's never been Jesus that's the problem. I love Jesus. It's not him or his teachings that are the problem. It's the organization around it and the control that tries to come through it. I love his teachings. I think it's beautiful. I just wish that it could be just his teachings and not, all the political BS that goes with it. So Sweet asks, I'm interested in being a healer. Any advice on where to start?
Yeah, that's a good one. First off, be very sure that you want to be a healer because you're going to have to do some healing yourself. And that's one thing I wish somebody would have told me the things I had to go through. And I don't want to shy you away from this because I want you to become that healer. I want you to be that beacon of light. But keep in mind that you will have to go through some healing. So honestly, the first step is having that conversation with yourself and creator. And your body's going to tell you if you're ready for it or not.
Yes, absolutely. That also was something I was not quite ready for, I don't think. With me,
Yeah.
when my awakening happened, it was like being hit in the face with a two by four. Everything exploded in my life and I could not get my energy out of under control. Like I was getting shocked in my ear by my phone. My car was turning off. The lights were being, I was like, I went to my doctor and I told my doctor, I think I'm crazy. Like, can I possibly have a poltergeist? Like, what's wrong with me? He's the one who suggested, I think you just need a break. Have you ever thought about doing Reiki? And I was like, what's that? Like never heard of it. Ooh, wow, look at the jellyfish. How cool is that? So I started with Reiki and in an effort to get my own energy out of control, this goes back to the question from Sweet. Because for me, being someone who's so sensitive to energy, it had to get under control. It had to. It was unbelievable. So Reiki taught me how to control my own energy. And then when I started, I went all the way up through level 3. I didn't do master because by that point, it had started to sort of evolve for me. And it changed from being just Reiki, where I felt the need to do the symbols and the hand positions and all that stuff. It changed. And I kind of felt like there was something different coming through and something specific for me and something, and it just one thing led to another, led to another. And I think for me, a lot of it was just allowing myself to be open enough to the idea that it will evolve and not so rigid about I have to do just this. We get
Yeah.
rules in our head.
Yeah. We get in our own way.
Yeah, we get in our own way. As someone like me, I'm very much a rule follower. And for me, like, oh, I can't do anything different. It really messed with my head. So Augustine Anthony says, how do we get over guilt and shame?
I mean, it's all about forgiveness. Even if you don't feel like you deserve the forgiveness now, or that person doesn't deserve the forgiveness, you might have to say it a million times, but eventually your body's going to, you're going to feel the energetic shift. So definitely forgiveness is a great way, a great starting point.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. An acknowledgement that sometimes you have to forgive someone who's not sorry because the forgiveness isn't for them, you know?
yeah,
Excellent,
yeah, because I
excellent.
mean, honestly, they're living rent free. Rent free in your space, so definitely, if it takes forgiving them to get them out of there, then forgive them.
Exactly. I used to have somebody who used to say to me all the time, holding a grudge is like you drinking poison and then hoping that other person gets sick. It doesn't do them anything when you hold on to that, you know. What other questions do we got before we let Bear go? Any other questions? I'm going to do a last call for questions. I'm trying to be respectful of the time. I don't know
I
when
did
that
I did see I did see somebody say about me talking about Jesus and music or spirituality, and if how I felt about it. Honestly, or no, if it would be accepted. I honestly don't care if it gets accepted or not. I'm just gonna still make it regardless because I don't need music. I want music.
is.
So there's yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like that. And then Dang Penguins is asking, who are your top five MCs?
Oh man, oh man. Well, definitely Tupac, Eminem, um, Big Pun, Bone Thugs and Harmony, and I would say Bubba Sparks.
Nice. I'm actually a huge
Yeah.
Eminem fan, which nobody believes me when I tell them that because I guess I don't look like an Eminem fan. But I knew that guy way back, right? Like now I'm realizing he's gonna have grandbabies soon, and that makes me feel old. Like,
And he's still so incredible, like at his age. So to me, I was like, yes, yes, it makes I
Absolutely.
can do this for the rest of my life.
Absolutely. He's fantastic. And I have such a respect for what he can do with lyrics. Anyone who can write any kind of lyricism just blows my mind. Cause to me, it's hard to just write a paragraph. I definitely cannot put it in some kind of lyrical form. And it just blows my mind that people can do that, especially the people like yourself, like Eminem. It's almost like you're just plugged right in and download it straight out almost sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, if I could ever reach the level of skill that he's at, that'd be incredible. But it's wild, dude. I would love to actually. That's one of my goals, and I'm manifesting it, creator. You hear me? I'm trying to be in the studio with him. I would love, absolutely love, just to watch this guy work. You know what I'm saying? Even if
Yeah.
I just got to sit there, I just want to watch.
I'm right there with you on that one. I would love to just watch it happen. Absolutely. Augustine is asking, what is grounding?
What is grounding?
Mm,
Well, working some stuff out is how I put it. Bringing yourself down to ground level. As spiritual beings, we get too caught up in the future, living in the future, or what's going to happen. So if you or be caught in the past, so you're unbalanced. So if you bring your awareness back now, focus on your breathing, put your feet to the ground. Even go touch something. I always say touch something that has some sort of texture to it. Bring your senses, smell something. Really practice the five senses here, and then to me, that's how I ground in that moment.
yeah, absolutely. It helps you be present, which is very important. All your power is right here in the present. Yeah. Grounding is also, I forget who asked that question, but the idea behind it scientifically is that the human body is differently charged than the earth and then natural substances like trees and flowing water. So when you put your bare feet on the earth, you're actually allowing your mother to exchange your energy ions and sort of clear out your energy for you. And that's how we're meant to be. We have bare feet for a reason, people. We're supposed to be walking on the ground. We're supposed to be touching the trees and being in nature. And that's how it was for thousands of years until we put rubber on the bottom of our feet and closed off our energy. So Grounding is very much about allowing yourself to be in the present moment with Mother Nature, helping you exchange your ions and just breathing in that clarity. That smell after the rain, that's ionization. That's what's happening in your body when you put your feet on the ground. And then I got one last question for you, and then I'm going to let you go. Chrissy wants to know, are you hoping to change the rap community in embracing spirit? Uh,
I like that. Change, no. Create a new lane, yes. And I feel good about this because there's nobody traveling it, so I'm able to be the pioneer of that, and I welcome people to join me. You know what I'm saying? Like we can do this together. It doesn't have to be just me because the reach can be great. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely not change, but definitely create a new lane.
Absolutely. I love that. Again, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate very much every second you spent here. I absolutely love being in your lives. I'm in them all the time, as you know. I'm on a little bit of a creeper in there just watching you because I love watching you work. I feel like having an interaction with you clears my energy just in that, and I appreciate that very much. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, it means a lot to me. Thank you so much for having me here, and I look forward to many more encounters. Especially with everybody as well. So definitely check out my music. Go to the website and see what I do.
Yes, absolutely. Make sure you're following him and then check out his lives too, guys. Thank you, Bear. I appreciate you being him. Being him. I appreciate you being him. I
All
love
right, thank you so much.
it.